October 24th, 1929. Known as the Black Thursday, the stock market, which was prospering after World War I, was soon about to crash. The stock market crashed into a $14 billion loss in a matter of hours. And to this day, this is known as the Great Depression, the worst economic slump recorded until 79 years later. September 29th, 2008.
Down 1.7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
The stock market crashed to an $8 trillion loss.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're down over 16%, has fallen about 18%. The stock market is now down 21%.
Down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
It was the worst day on Wall Street.
Apple's under pressure. Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%.
Frankfurt is down by 9%. The Paris market down by 9%.
To this day, it is known as the global financial crisis that led to the Great Recession, one of the worst economic slumps in the history of the modern world, which affected millions of lives throughout the world, even pushing many people into poverty. And then, there are these people. Despite the global financial crisis, no matter Great Depressions or Great Recessions, they always manage to rise above the obstacles and come out on top. What if I told you that the richest people in the world, billionaires, business titans, cultural icons, all share one hidden secret? A secret discovered over 100 years ago. A secret powerful enough to turn an ordinary person into a living legend. This isn't about luck, and not about talent. It's about a secret formula. One man spent 25 years uncovering the secret by interviewing more than 500 of the most successful people alive. The man was Napoleon Hill. The book, Think and Grow Rich. A book that has sold more than 100 million copies worldwide. And tonight, we're going to uncover the very principles that turned rags into riches, and reveal how you can use them today to build your wealth and become rich. 1937. The world is reeling from the Great Depression. Families have lost everything. But one book begins to spread like wildfire. In it, Hill reveals the first great secret. Thoughts become things. To prove it, he tells the story of R.U. Darby. Darby had invested in a gold mine. For months, he dug, believing he was on the brink of fortune. But when the veins seemed to run dry, he gave up. A junk dealer bought the mine, hired an engineer, and discovered that Darby had stopped digging, just 3 feet from gold. The lesson: success often lies just beyond the point where most people quit. And that single principle has built empires. Steven Spielberg. As a young nobody, he snuck into Universal Studios every single day, pretending to belong. For months, he learned by watching professionals work, until one day, he finally got his break. For Spielberg, the mine wasn't dry. He just refused to quit. But persistence alone isn't enough. Hill says the first real step toward riches is your desire. He tells the story of a great warrior. Before battle, he ordered his men to burn their ships. And then he told them, either we win or we die. With no retreat possible, the soldiers fought like their lives depended on it, and they won. That's what desire is. Not daydreaming, not wishful thinking, but an obsession so powerful that failure simply isn't an option. Thomas Edison, who gave us the light bulb, failed more than 1,000 times. But his desire was so strong, he said, I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that do not work. Napoleon Hill even gives us 6 exact steps: writing down your goal, imagining it daily, repeating it with faith, the very system that millionaires still use today. But the most powerful proof of desire wasn't Edison, or Carnegie, or Ford. It was Hill's own son. His son was born without ears. Doctors told Napoleon Hill, His child would never hear, never speak, never live a normal life. But Hill refused to accept it. Night after night, he whispered into his son's earless head, telling him he would hear, that he would speak, he would live like any other child. And then, something extraordinary happened. Blair Hill developed a faint ability to hear. With the help of one of the first hearing aids ever created, he grew up not only speaking fluently, but inspiring thousands of others with his speeches. That is the power of desire mixed with faith. It can turn the impossible into reality.
I had more faith in you than that.
Napoleon Hill writes, "Faith is the glue that transforms desire into action. It's not a religion. It's a mindset, an unshakable belief that what you want will become real." Take Charles Schwab. In 1900, U.S. Steel was on the brink of collapse. The legendary financier J.P. Morgan called Schwab into his library. With nothing but faith in his own ideas, Schwab outlined a plan so bold, so ambitious, that Morgan invested $480 million, which is worth billions today. Schwab had no guarantee, no proof, only faith, and it built one of the greatest companies in the history of the world. But how do you build faith when everything around you says it's impossible? Hill's answer: autosuggestion. The words you repeat to yourself become the beliefs your mind accepts as truth. Day after day, Hill wrote down his goals, visualized them, and spoke them out loud. Sound strange? Maybe, but even modern psychology backs it up. If you focus on something, it expands. Henry Ford proved this. When in court, lawyers mocked him for not being educated enough. Ford stood up and said, "Why should I clutter my brain with facts, when I can summon men who can get any information I want within seconds?" That mindset, repeated to himself for years, allowed Ford to revolutionize the automobile industry to great heights. Perhaps, the most magical example of specialized knowledge comes from something as ordinary as a random experiment of a pharmacist. In a small town in the late 1800s, a pharmacist bought a formula from a simple country doctor. Just a mix of sugar, caramel, and a secret ingredient. That pharmacist turned it into a drink. The drink turned into a brand. And that brand became one of the most valuable companies in the history of the world. Its symbol is a red and white logo that you still see almost every single day. And the company is, yes, you guessed it, Coca-Cola. And the story of Coca-Cola's rise, along with the final secrets of the book Think and Grow Rich, are what we'll be uncovering in part 2. This video is part 1 of our journey of Napoleon Hill's best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich. If you found this inspiring, don't miss part 2 where we reveal how ordinary people became legends, and how you can too. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the video displayed on your screen to watch part 2. And remember, the fortune you seek may be closer than you think.